The university chancellor enters the auditorium where a lecture about genetic engineering occurs. A young teacher is drawing graphics and diagrams on the whiteboard, and students are redrawing them in their laptops. The chancellor knows that some of these students are not listening to the teacher. He walks around the audience and stands behind all the people. Who do you think is not focused on studying? All students are typing the formulas on their laptops. That girl over there is solving a crossword puzzle on her computer. Detective Richardson is chasing a robber dressed in a clown's outfit. The thief runs into the territory of a big carnival. There are a lot of clowns here. Help find the suspect among them. Catch that guy! His makeup is leaking since he's sweating after running. Also, he is the only one among all the clowns who took off the red nose, since he needs to take a deep breath. Angelica gets out of the elevator and goes to her room. She puts a magnetic card to the lock to open the door. Then, she turns on a kettle and a TV. At this moment, the phone rings. Angelica picks it up.
Hello, it's your neighbor from the opposite apartment. I'm looking at someone trying to break into your house right now.
A voice on the other end of the line says,
He's trying to pick your lock with a lockpick.
I'm sorry, it seems you've called the wrong number, Angelica tells him and hangs up. Why did she think that? Her door has a magnetic lock. Howard got stuck on a deserted island after an emergency landing on his biplane. He had no fuel and no means of communication. He spent the last few nights building a raft from bamboo. He also sewed sails from the parachute, and now Howard is sailing away from the shore. At this moment, a storm begins. Waves and strong winds carry the small raft further from land, right into the center of the storm. And then Howard notices a ship. He's screaming for help, but a big wave turns the ship over. There's no chance of salvation. The raft sinks next, and Howard loses consciousness. He wakes up on the island again, surrounded by the ship's wreckage. Howard looks around and starts yelling with happiness. It seems he's saved. Why? There are fuel cans among the wreckage. Howard can refuel his biplane and fly away from this place. There's a secret helicopter hangar hidden among trees at the edge of the forest. A squirrel got stuck on the ceiling between the beams. Johnny, the woodcutter, comes inside and notices the poor animal. He's going to rescue it, but he doesn't know how to get there. There are no stairs or anything that can be used to climb so high. Help him save the squirrel. There's an open vent on the ceiling. Johnny can get to the squirrel through the roof, but how? The hangar is located among the trees. Johnny can climb a tree and jump on the roof. The premiere of some fantastic movie about graffiti culture was held at one local cinema. Some of the viewers liked it so much that they painted the wall of the building. The police caught 3 suspects. But who's guilty? Look at this girl with blue hair. She has paint on her fingers. Leo, Brad, and Chris walk in the park and tell each other how they spent the weekend. All the guys look rich and successful, but in fact, only one of them is wealthy. Look at them carefully and try to guess who. It's Brad. See the advertising banner of a new action movie hanging on a skyscraper in the distance? Brad's face is on it. Linda comes out of the library. She doesn't notice the curb ahead, stumbles over it, and breaks the heel of her shoe. She calls a taxi and goes to the city center. There's a street with many fashionable boutiques. Linda doesn't know which store to go to. The best shoes in town, the sign on the first building says. The best shoes in the country is written on the second boutique. The best shoes on the continent, the sign on a fashion house lights up. The best shoes on the planet is written on the next one. Linda moves on. The best shoes in the solar system. The best shoes in the galaxy. The best shoes in the universe. Then she notices a small shop at the end of the street. Linda chooses that one without hesitation. What was written there? The best shoes on this street. Roy is sitting in the classroom listening to two teachers. They're saying essential mathematical formulas to prepare students for upcoming exams. Roy is writing down their words, but he doesn't keep up with the teachers. His hand hurts more and more. The notebook is running out of pages. The teacher's speech is accelerating. They're saying a lot of new information. Ah! How can Roy remember all of this? Help him! He needs to use the voice recorder on his phone. The plane takes off from the airport. A flight attendant walks through the cabin and sees two passengers arguing. The crew member asks what happened. Jay says that Courtney took his place. Courtney claims that this is her seat. They showed their tickets to the flight attendant. She tells them that the program couldn't sell two identical seats. She takes their boarding passes and immediately understands what the mistake is. Look at the tickets and tell who's right here. Seat 14F is written on both documents. Jay's takeoff time is 2:57 a.m. Courtney's is 2:57 p.m. It was sunny when the plane took off. Also, the sun is shining outside the window, so Jay's got on the wrong flight. Alexis runs at the stadium every day, preparing for an athletics championship. And it starts today. Alexis warms up and notices a skinny guy among other runners. His legs look weak and thin. Is he gonna run? Alexis wonders. All participants get up to the starting position. 3, 2, 1, go! Alexis is running as fast as she can. She's in the lead, and that guy runs much faster and doesn't look tired. He wins. But how did he do it? Alexis realizes he's not a real athlete. He's not even a human. But how did she know that? The guy doesn't sweat, he doesn't blink, and he has two left hands. It's raining. Mike tries to walk fast so as not to freeze. His 3 goats are following him. He comes out to the river and notices a raft on the shore, but it can only withstand 1 goat and 1 human at a time. A tiger is sitting on the other side of the river. Mike can't sail with 1 goat and leave it with the tiger. What should he do to cross the river? There's no need to cross the river this way. Look, there's a bridge far ahead. There's a house right in the middle of the hottest desert. There is no water, trees, or villages around. 4 people live inside the building: the owner and his friends, an archaeologist, an oil worker, and a surveyor. The owner comes to the backyard and sees an empty jug. "Who's drunk all the water? We don't have any supplies anymore," he screams loudly. All the friends are in shock too. "Those who did that should go to the desert and get some water," he says.
"I was excavating in front of the house. I didn't touch the jug,"
the archaeologist replies. "I extracted oil under the house. I didn't touch the water," the oil worker says. "I was wandering through the desert in search of an underground river or lake, but I haven't found anything. There's no point in sending us there. You know, I think you've drunk it," the surveyor answers. "What do you think? Who's guilty?" Nobody. The jug was outside. The hot sand and the scorching sun dried it up. Dr. Phil works in a laboratory for the study of microorganisms. He's sitting in his office, reading a new scientific article. At this moment, someone knocks on the door. It's a young laboratory assistant. He looks scared and says he's met a real monster. "It has several mouths, long tentacles, and 1 claw," the guy says. He locked it in the lab. Dr. Phil goes there to see it with his eyes. He turns the key in the lock. The door is opening slowly with a cracking sound. The doctor steps inside and... nothing. There's complete silence here. There's no monster. Or is there? Where do you think it is? The monster is microscopic, sitting in the test tube. This is a laboratory for the study of microorganisms, remember? One old head of a large financial company is going to retire, but who will be his heir? Who will be able to manage such a huge corporation? He's calling an emergency meeting. All employees gather in the conference room. The boss gives $100 to each of them.
That's all I had when I arrived in this city for the first time. But I used this money wisely and became rich,
He says.
Who can use this banknote best of all will get the head position in the company. You have 2 weeks.
At the appointed time, all the employees return to the conference room. Someone invested the money in startups. Someone bought shares from other companies. One guy just spent the $100 in a restaurant. Some smart people earned thousands of dollars. There were many worthy candidates, but none of them became the head of the company. Why? The reason is not related to money. The old boss passed away.
Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Marie Curie, Leonardo da Vinci. Think about all these people. What did they have in common? Aside from the fact that they changed the world with their inventions, discoveries, and art. They all had high IQs and were extremely smart and creative. But you don't need to be a scientist, an artist, a mathematician, or a chess player to have a high IQ. And vice versa. If you're one of those, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a high IQ. IQ stands for intelligence quotient. To put it simply, it's the score that indicates how well you use your logic and reasoning skills and how fast you process information. But keep in mind that there are many different types of intelligence, from emotional to bodily kinesthetic, and an IQ test can only measure one of them. And now, are you ready to check your IQ score? There are 20 questions in this test, and you have 7 seconds to answer each of them. For every correct answer, you get 1 point. Don't forget to count your score and share your results in the comments at the end of the video. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Question 1. How many 2s appear between 1 and 100? A. 10. B. 20. C. 12. D. 11. The correct answer is 20. If your answer was right, kudos to you. But if it was incorrect, then you might have forgotten about the 2s in 21, 22, 23. I'm sure you got it. Question 2. Take a look at this sequence. What number comes next? A. 44. B. 16. C. 56. D. 64. In this sequence, each number is greater than the previous one. It means that the number you're looking for also needs to be greater than 32. So the sequence goes like this. And the correct answer is 44. Question 3. What day will it be tomorrow if Wednesday was 3 days ago? The correct answer is Sunday. Question 4. What is a quarter of 2/3 of 9,000? A. 2,000. B. 3,000. C. 1,500. D. 1,000. The correct answer is C. Question 5. What number should come next in this sequence? A. 7. B. 18. C. 27. D. 26. Take a look at the first, third, fifth, and seventh numbers first. They decreased by 1. On the other hand, the second, fourth, and sixth numbers increased by 1. The number you're looking for belongs to the second group, since it's going to be the 8th number. And what comes after 25? 26. So the correct answer is D. Question 6. Which word is the odd one? A. Index. B. Glossary. C. Book. D. Chapter. The word book is the different one because the rest of the words are all part of a book. Question 7. If thing turns into night, what does 75120 turn into? A. 21057. B. 51270. C. 17052. D. 70521. To solve this riddle, you need to figure out the relationship between the word thing and the number 75120. Once you do that, you'll realize that a particular letter corresponds to a certain number. So T is connected with 7, H with 5, I with 1, N with 2, and G with 0. Now, arrange these numbers according to the order of the letters in the word night. You'll get 21057, so the correct answer is A. Question 8. How many triangles are there in this picture? A. 10. B. 13. C. 17. D. 12. The correct answer is 13. Question 9. Which shape is different from the others? The correct answer is C, because all the other shapes have 8 sides, while this one only has 6. Question 10. Which word would be the third if you put them in alphabetical order? A. Thread. B. Thrice. C. Thrill. D. Thrive. The correct answer is C. Question 11. A dress and a belt cost $830 in total. The dress is $720 more expensive than the belt. How much does the dress cost? A. $775. B. $740. C. $360. D. $715. The correct answer is A. Question 12. What number is the next in this sequence? A. 22. B. 17. C. 21. D. 19. Each number is the sum of the two numbers that comes before. When you add 8 to 13, you get 21. So the correct answer is C. Question 13. What is the number you need? A. 5. B. 2. C. 1. D. 6. Do you see the two squares? The sum of the numbers in their corners needs to equal 17. So that makes 2 the correct answer. Question 14. What is the finished cube going to look like? The correct answer is C. Question 15. Which word is the odd one? A. Sadness. B. Fondness. C. Happiness. D. hope. The correct answer is sadness, since it's considered to be a negative emotion, while the rest of them are positive feelings. Question 16. Kate, Joanna, and Natalie are three sisters. If the following statements are all true, which of them is the youngest? Kate is the oldest. Natalie is not the oldest. Joanna is not the youngest. A. Joanna. B. Kate. C. Natalie. D. Both Joanna and Natalie. The answer is Natalie. Question 17. Here are two statements. Some men are kings. All kings have golden crowns. And here are two conclusions. All men have golden crowns. All kings are men. Which of the following is the correct answer? A. Only conclusion 1. B. Only conclusion 2. C. Either 1 or 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. E. Both 1 and 2. The correct answer is D. Question 18. What is the result? A. 6. B. 9. C. 8. D. 4. The correct answer is A. Question 19. What number comes next in the sequence? A. 47. B. 594. C. 374. D. 35. In this sequence, a two-digit number is followed by a three-digit one and vice versa. So, the number you're looking for has to consist of 3 digits, as the one that comes before is a two-digit number, and the formula for this sequence of numbers looks like this. So what you have to do is multiply 54 by 11. That makes B the correct answer. Question 20. Identify the shape that continues the sequence. The correct answer is B. Congratulations! You've completed the test. Hope you remember your score. Here are the results. If you answered 0 to 6 questions correctly, you might need to practice more to improve your logical reasoning skills. To do that, you can solve such puzzles as Sudoku and play chess and card games. Those are not only fun to play, but they can also improve your focus. Even learning something new, like a foreign language, or taking up a new hobby will help you get a higher score next time. If you answered 6 to 12 questions correctly, you're definitely not alone. This is the score the majority of people get. But this shouldn't encourage you to relax and do nothing. There's still room for improvement. If you want to get a higher score next time, here are a couple of things you can do. Try to observe and recognize patterns in everyday things. Even simply searching for them will help you to improve your focus. Speaking of which, meditate. This will help you manage your stress, and when you can stay calm under pressure, nothing can stop you from being able to focus on the task at hand. Read mystery books or watch mystery movies. If you answered 12 to 17 questions correctly, you're a gifted person who has superior logical thinking and reasoning abilities. You can recognize patterns easily. You're good with numbers. When given different sources of information, you can make connections between them. And you have strong visualization skills. Go you! If you answered 18 to 20 questions correctly, hats off to you. You can go ahead and proudly take your place among the geniuses of this world.